Gentlemen, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward on each of your cases. Mr. Calhoun, how old are you?
I'm 20.
What do you do for a living?
Right now I just make music. I go to school. I go to night school to get my GED. That's it. I'm getting a job too, but it's
All gonna, supposed to,
yes, sir.
gonna happen, this, that, and yet here you are, 20, on your third case. Life's not going well for you now. Now I'm gonna be on top of you so much, you're gonna think that it's a career. No more dope, no more alcohol, no more guns, and you're gonna get your GED.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna make sure that all that happens. Otherwise, guess what's gonna happen to you? Right.
Yes, sir.
You'll be getting your GED behind some bars. Mr. Green,
Yes, sir.
how old are you?
21.
What do you do in life?
Right now, I'm really trying to find out an entrepreneur way for myself. So it's kind of studying a lot, learning a lot of stuff. Most of the time, collecting information. But then on my free time, I do like to make videos.
Did you graduate from high school? What are your plans now?
Trying to take that as far as I can. I want to start clothing.
Okay, it's not working for you. You must get a full-time job, and I am making that now a bond condition of yours. If you fail to do that, guess what's gonna happen? No more dope, no more alcohol, and I'm telling you, each of you will get tested for weed 31 days from today. If each of you test positive for dope, you're gonna go to one place and I'm gonna make your bond so high, you're gonna flip. You are guaranteed going to get a drug test in 31 days. If you don't smoke after today, you'll be fine with me. You smoke, and I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you tell me that you're in a car and they're hotboxing, whatnot. I don't care. You test positive for dope, I'm gonna put you in jail. I'm gonna bring you back in 2 weeks, Mr. Green. I wanna see what you've done to get a job. If you've done nothing, life's not gonna go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna appoint each of you guys lawyers today. I will have you talk to the lawyers. And then after that, you'll be back in 2 weeks to show me what you've done. Understand?
Yes, sir.
You pick up a new case, either of you, while you're on bond, I will absolutely lose it. And I'm gonna be so upset, I will grow horns and a tail. And if that happens, you're gonna be on the losing end of it. So be careful when you're out on my streets, because I want my streets to be safe. And if that means locking you up at $100,000 bond, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Stephen, you wanna show them the way?
Sure, gentlemen, go that way for me.
I did have a first.
Chip, go that way for me.
Right this way.
Big.
Calling case number 24, B Lake Berkeley E 02420. This is people of the city of Berkeley versus Paul Iwan Weleshko.
Velichko, but that's good enough, sir.
Okay,
Or should I say, Your Honor?
thank you. Mr. Weleshko, today is the date and time set for your informal hearing. An informal hearing is of a civil nature. Nobody goes to jail today at the end of your traffic ticket. However, it's considered serious enough that Officer Anderson issued the citation on the date in question. The citation does state that on June the 21st of this year at approximately quarter of midnight, you were operating a 2016 Honda blue in color on Woodward Avenue M1 at or near Columbia in the city of Berkeley. And at that place and time, you disobeyed a traffic signal. Officer Anderson's brief note indicates southbound Woodward, brief stop at red light at Columbia, proceeded through intersection through red. So apparently it was a circumstance where you proceeded straight through a red light after a stop. You have a right, sir, to admit responsibility in this matter. The court will attach the fine scheduled and then we'll close the case. You have a right to admit with an explanation that you believe mitigates your circumstances, or you may deny responsibility. If you deny responsibility, the court will swear both parties under oath. The officer will testify first as he has the burden of proof this morning. It'll then be your turn to testify, tell the court anything you wish the court to know, display your exhibits, and then the court will be required to make a finding of responsible or not responsible based upon the civil burden of proof, which is a mere preponderance of the evidence, also known as the featherweight test. So, sir, as to the citation of disobeyed traffic signal, do you wish to admit with an explanation, or deny responsibility?
So I believe I would just like to admit responsibility with an explanation,
Well,
Your Honor.
that's entirely up to you. So your belief doesn't really enter into the consideration. What the court needs to know is the court is required by law to take a plea. The respondent is required to make the plea. So you can either admit with explanation, or deny responsibility.
All right, Your Honor, I'm admitting responsibility, or I'm accepting responsibility with an explanation.
Very well. So you're confirming to the court that on the date in question, you were operating a motor vehicle in the city of Berkeley, correct?
Correct. And the
secondly,
make and model. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Go ahead.
And secondly, at that place and time, you did disobey a traffic signal, correct?
Correct, but it wasn't
And
necessarily.
it's not a correct but. I either need an affirmative, or if you're saying yeah, but, or not really, or sort of, then we're going to swear the parties and take testimony.
Can I do a quick 2-sentence response to that?
No, you can either admit with it and then provide your explanation, or you can deny responsibility and we'll swear the parties and take testimony. The court is doing this because this is both the statutory and
challenging it
Okay, in what way?
in a good way.
time-honored fashion through which your own rights are protected. Okay?
Okay. Yes. So I
it's
ran.
kind of like the concept that you can't be a little bit pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. How you got pregnant is another story. Okay? So please listen carefully. You can admit with an explanation. So you admit first and then explain, or you may deny responsibility.
I'm admitting with an explanation, sir.
So you're confirming you were driving in Berkeley that day, correct?
Correct.
And secondly, that you did disobey a traffic signal.
Correct. Yes.
Thank you. What would you like to tell the court?
So I would just like to tell the court that I actually did a FOIA request because I thought that I stopped fully, but the thing is, right there on Woodward southbound, there's a red light on Columbia, which is right before the one on 11 Mile and Woodward. And I briefly stopped at the first one, and then I proceeded to run that one. And then I stopped at the one on 11 and Woodward, and I thought the officer was pulling me over because I ran that one. And that's why I did the FOIA request. And after reviewing the footage, the officer was completely correct. I just was a little apprehensive of the fact that he said I proceeded through the intersection on a red. But that is essentially all I wanted to explain to the court today.
I appreciate that. So you
Which is number one, wrong.
stopped at one and then proceeded to the next one.
So I briefly stopped, but not long enough for it to turn green. So I ran the initial red light.
All right.
The other one, I did go on green.
Fair enough. And as well, Mr. Lechko, the court wants you to know it has no idea what your driving record looks like. Doesn't review driving records before the traffic docket. Each and every case is judged on its merits. Officer Anderson, is there anything you wish to share?
Your Honor, if I may make a motion to amend to impeding traffic.
Okay, Mr. Valeshko, impeding traffic is a 0-point violation and will never appear on a master driving record. That outcome is acceptable to you?
It is more than acceptable. I really appreciate that.
Very well. So your original plea to disobey traffic signal will subsume a plea to impeding traffic that is sanctioned with a $175 fine that's payable through the pay portal on the 44th District Court website, or you can walk a cash check or charge into the 44th District Court at 400 East 11 Mile Road, Monday through Friday, between 8:30 and 4:30. That's due within 14 days. And that completes your hearing. Good luck. Safe motoring.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. We have the usual I want to admit, but I don't want to admit routine. But once we got past that, it actually worked. There's a good classic example of the admit with explanation. The explanation didn't really get him out of, culpability for the offense, but the officer decided to give him a break because he was fairly reasonable about it. And, it worked out well for him.